Today I'm going to show you how to make pinto beans, how to cook pinto beans. This is a staple that's been in my family for many years. It's really simple. I don't even need a recipe for it, but I'm going to go through all these steps and show you exactly what does go in it. So I hope you enjoy this. It goes with many other, it goes with chili Colorado, chili verde, enchiladas, every kind of Mexican or New Mexican food you can think of. So I'll show you how it works. Okay, the first thing I do with beans is I sort them out. My mother taught me how to do that years ago. See, you have a few broken ones already. I can pick them out already, see? So what she would do is get a little bowl just like this and kind of sort through them and do this. I'm not sure how other people do it, but this is how I was taught. And here's one that's broken too. So what it does is it sorts through the broken pieces of beans, and it also gets rid of rocks and stones that get in these too. So this is where I begin. My mother is from New Mexico, born and raised, and so I have a lot of recipes from New Mexico that were handed down to me from my mom, and I also have a little New Mexican cookbook that my aunt gave me many years ago, my mom's youngest sister. So I have a lot of recipes coming of New Mexican cooking too. That's a different type of cooking, but it's really good. So I don't always soak my beans. I don't always soak them, but I'm going to tonight because I'm going to do the cooking for this tomorrow. So I'm going to soak these beans tonight. This is the recipe book my aunt gave me many years ago called Comidas de New Mexico by Lucy Delgado. So you can see how worn it is. It's been greatly used. Most of these recipes I have anyway that my mom gave me, but this just has it stored in this little recipe book, which is so nostalgic to me, and it's a very meaningful recipe book because it was given to me by my aunt who's from New Mexico and lived there her whole life. You can see how much it's been used through the years. I'm sure getting my use out of it. Okay, these are all the broken pieces and a couple of little rocks I'm going to get rid of. And here's the beans with water in them that I'm going to soak overnight. Like I said, I should do this all the time, but I don't. But I'm going to tonight. So I'll see you tomorrow. Good morning. Really good coffee this morning. I'm going to show you exactly how to cook these beans now. These are the soaked beans. You can tell they've swelled a little. This is what they're supposed to do. There's still water, but they've rised to the occasion. They've rised all the way to the top, so the water is below them right now. So now what we're going to do is put these in a pot with some salt. We're going to cut up some bacon. My mom's recipe calls for lard or bacon, and I don't do it exactly how it calls for because it does call for garlic, and my mom never really used garlic in her beans, and I don't either. So that's one variation to the New Mexican style. So here we go. Okay, to be exact, my mom's recipe in our New Mexican cooking book calls for 2 tablespoons of bacon drippings or 1 cup of dried salt pork, 2 cups of dried pinto beans, 5 cups of water, and 1 clove of garlic. But like I stated, we don't use garlic in our beans. So I'm going to show you exactly what I'm going to do. Okay, here's our pot of water. I am not making a whole bunch of beans today, so I've kind of balanced it out to what I'm going to use. But what we're going to do is add a little salt, and like I don't measure how much salt. I put a couple of like these little teaspoons. There is going to be bacon grease, which is salty, but that's not enough salt. So here's 2 tablespoons of bacon grease. Okay, it doesn't matter if the bacon grease, whatever goes first, but I'm going to put the beans in. And like I said, I'm not making a huge batch of them. And here is our bacon grease. About 2 tablespoons approximately. So now what we're going to do is boil this. And I could add some bacon or pork fat chopped up if I want, but I don't want to because this is plenty. So this is going to cook probably about 2 hours. So I'll keep you posted. Okay, so I moved everything to a larger pot because I made the mistake of pouring in the wrong beans instead of the ones I soaked. It's not the end of the world, but I added the soaked ones to this and had to put everything in a bigger pot. Sometimes we make little mistakes and they're easier to correct than others, and this one was an easy one. So we'll just have a few beans that weren't soaked mixed together with some beans that were. So we're going to end up having more beans than what I had planned. So it's boiling right now. I'm going to put the lid kind of cocked on like this and bring it to a boil and then turn it down to like a medium. So here we go. Okay, these are boiling. So I'm actually going to turn them down to a medium low. So if you have a gas stove, I have it on probably like a 2.5, because you don't want them to boil fast or to cook fast because they'll kind of ruin the beans, kind of shrivel them. So you want them kind of a low medium. Okay, we're checking on them. They've been cooking a little over an hour. They do quite well, but another hour will be probably just about right. So like I said, there are some beans in here that were not soaked. It doesn't seem to make a difference when I'm looking at them. I definitely believe in being transparent about any mistake I make so you can learn from them. Like I said, I don't always soak the beans. I like to soak them. So like I said, the majority of these have been soaked and there's a few that haven't, but we have about another hour to go. So I added a little more water because that's what you'll have to do. Like every, say, 20 minutes you check on it, and if it needs more water, you add more water because you don't want them to dry out. Okay, the beans are done. They're very good. I've already tasted them. You can see how it has just the right amount of water in it. And you can tell by looking that they're just how they're supposed to be. So we're going to put them in a little bowl and taste it. Okay, these beans took exactly 2 hours to cook, which is exactly what I estimated they would take. So I rarely make these beans just to eat by themselves. However, they're very, very good. If you just wanted to have a pot of beans and eat beans, they are really good. But what I'm going to make to serve them with is chili Colorado and another item as well. So that will be on a future video that I'm going to make. Okay, time for the taste test. These are very hot, and that's what you want them to be, but you have to be very careful to blow all the steam off before you try them. But they are very delicious. As close to perfect as you can get. These turned out really, really good. So I hope you give these a try and find something that you want to serve them with, or you can have them all by themselves. I hope you enjoyed this recipe of mine.